It's like August the Duck here. He's making a good career out of roast videos now, and I'm sure they're pretty good, but he pulled one out on this worst genius interview video ever. So here we go.
Sneaky little imposter, aren't you? Aren't you? Oh, he or she's so sneaky.
Well, I thought that 2021 was finally going to be the year in which we left songs about video games in the past. But sadly, yesterday I was...
But sadly, I have a whole career based upon video game songs.
Because it appears that George from Stuart Little has decided that the planet and Genius thought that we needed an interview about it.
I thought that 75 million people needed the song about Among Us, and I was right.
It becomes very obvious over the course of this interview that this song does not need an interview. I mean, it's like the flossing.
But knowing that was going to do not as well as it did, but pretty well.
What does this sentence mean? I've been sitting here for a few minutes trying to figure it out, and I just can't make sense of it. I think Genius drugs you before the interview because...
That's mean. That's a little mean, guys.
No one ever seems to make sense in these videos.
That literally he just called out my communication issues. Oh my gosh, it's rough. Obviously he didn't know, right? He really didn't. August did not know that I have communication issues, but it's a little bit mean. Like he said, Genius drugs you. And I understand if it's like, I would probably laugh if it was like they were talking about a Karen or something, or maybe even the flossing interview. Like obviously that song didn't need a friggin' interview, but I was pretty passionate about this project for sure. I was motivated that I knew this was going to do well. And when I said not as well as it did, but pretty well, I meant like, I knew it was going to do pretty well, but it did even better than I thought it was going to do. Funny.
It's got a nice voice and all, but...
Thank you.
Did the world really need this? I don't know. I guess I'm kind of biased. I've always found songs about video games kind of stinky. I just feel like no matter how well-rounded they are, you cannot detach the cringe from them.
That is kind of true because I feel like I have been wanting to, do other pop stuff. I've been wanting to break out into a new world of music. But sometimes I feel like I'm stuck in this hole of having to produce songs about these games because people are always suggesting them. Because that's how my channel was built.
The YouTube comment section can be quite silly. They quote the line, "Look around your shoulder." In the animation, everyone questions, shoulder? Among Us characters don't have shoulders.
This must be a real gut punch to the struggling musicians out there pouring their heart and soul into their music. And here's this guy getting a Genius interview talking about the shoulders of Among Us characters.
So everybody was kind of pointing that out.
That was good though. These glasses, I don't wear these anymore, but these glasses had I accidentally sat on them and so they were like this, so I had to keep adjusting them. They were like this the whole time in the interview. So
everybody's paranoid. Literally everyone. If you're not paranoid, then you're not going to win.
I'm trying to explain Among Us right now to people on Genius. I'm trying my best to find words to say for this interview. It was such an awkward interview, honestly.
You're the imposter. Are you the imposter? Aren't you the imposter? You definitely are the imposter. No one's admitting to it, so everyone's dying one by one. And people have actually speculated in the video that he actually wasn't the imposter and he just got driven to insanity by the end of the video and started killing everybody anyways.
Is this why Genius contacted this man for this video? Is the Genius interview team Among Us music video fan theorists? And they just had to get to the bottom of this nail-biting mystery?
No, I'm just talking about it, okay?
I can feel it in my bones. So why don't you show yourself and leave us all alone? I was feeling it. I was literally feeling it. I was vibing with the way that I was feeling in the song, and I was working on the melodies actively with the lyrics at the same time.
Yeah, that's generally how you write a song. Try to make everything cohesive.
I wanted to keep the energy going and it kind of
Thanks.
get heavy. And so when I said I can feel it in my bones, people kept saying, Among Us characters only have one bone, because they're literally just one bone. And I don't care.
Well, I'm glad that the world has been blessed with that much-needed insight regarding the anatomy of Among Us characters.
But we got to keep on breathing. The animator for that video, his name is One Chop.
Shut up.
To make the imposter breathe on everyone as soon as that part came in. So he was just like, we got and his chest went in and out and in and out. It's the most discreet Easter egg.
Well, based off of that description, that does not seem very discreet to me.
It wasn't.
How I might die, but nobody knows. When people are singing along to a song, they may not know every word, so I decided to simplify it a little bit. But it also helped my writing process go a little faster too, just repeating that, and then just amping up my vocal performance for that part.
That's an interesting way to say that you got lazy halfway through.
Yep.
So why don't you show yourself? The imposter is literally messing with everybody. So there really is no maybe. I don't know why. Maybe sounded good in the lyrics, but the imposter literally is messing with them and killing crewmates. I mean,
Come on, he has said the same thing about every lyric essentially. Yeah, we got it, the imposter's killing people. It really just shows how
What else am I supposed to say? It's an Among Us song.
Interview, not needed.
Yep.
right now. No, 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 no.
I look so happy too. I was really happy to be there. Thanks for zooming in on my happiness.
When I started writing this song, I hadn't played the game yet. I basically just did a light research, saw the words imposter, Among Us, imposter among us, imposter among us. Okay, that's the song.
What? You're telling me that you didn't actually put that much thought into the creation of this song? Blasphemy.
Like Billie Eilish said,
I
you don't
did,
have
though.
to be in love. That made sense in my head. That made sense in my head.
Well, I'm glad that's over. Call me crazy, but I believe that is the... I would rather watch Gabby Hanna. There, I said it. Maybe I'm not a true gamer, and that's why I don't appreciate it. Maybe I need to go talk to Phazerug. Well, that pretty much wraps things up for our genius journey.
When I saw this interview the first time when it released, I did feel kind of trash about it. I was a little bit upset. I was a little sad that it existed. But I kind of processed it, you know. And, you know, at this point, I just realized, you know, not everybody's going to like my music, and that's okay. Clearly, August the Duck is doing very well for himself, and I'm very proud of him, and I hope he keeps on growing and making cool videos about fun stuff. Of course, this isn't quite the best format of content that I really like, crapping on everything. But at least he found his footing. Or should I say his web feeding. No,